All right, today we are committed to our health and committed to loving ourselves through these movements today. Commitment to health isn't an all or nothing thing. It is openness and curiosity about what our bodies are capable of doing today. So let's hit it with our 4 movements, 1 minute each. Today I've got for you crunches, fun with crunches, crunch variations. In your 2nd minute, I've got alternating lunges. And then in your 3rd minute, we're going to do overhead squats. One of my favorite, most challenging movements that I have available for you. And then our 4th thing is our minute of cardio choice. So let's go ahead and explore what all of these movements mean for our bodies. What are you accessing today? What are you committed to doing today? When we do our minute of crunches, we can simply come down onto the ground, cradle the back of our head in our interlaced hands, allow our elbows to be wide. And we're going to bring our nose towards the ceiling, focusing on belly button to spine and crunching in the abdomen. I am bringing my lower and upper abdomen closer together every time I reach my nose towards the ceiling. Now, if I don't have to do this or I can't access this for the entire minute, I'm not going to give myself the business about it. My commitment to health is for me and me alone, and I take a moment to breathe, and then I get back into it. Sometimes a commitment to health doesn't mean stopping, it means changing what you're doing. So can we then maybe go into some gym sit-ups, some PE sit-ups, I call these. I remember doing these when I was a kid and hating them. So maybe you can access that today and not hate it so much and come back into crunches. Another variation you might make available to you is simply turn into a side crunch. Here we are, head flat on the ground, elbows nice and wide, drawing elbow down towards your hip in a C curve. Engaging in the side body, bringing elbow down and around in a semicircular position, and then switching. When you're doing these movements, the goal is to consider for yourself, how am I going to make the most of this minute right now? I have a beginning of 4 minutes, and at the end of that, I can choose to repeat it, or I've just done more today than I thought I could. So those are your fun with crunches and crunch variations. 2nd movement today, you can do planks weighted, or excuse me, not planks, lunges weighted or not weighted. That's up to you. So from a standing position, for our lunge, we're going to step forward and slightly out to the side, making space for our hips to drop down, leaving the upper body nice and tall. I'm going to step forward and out. When I arrive here, I'm going to check in on my knee. Tendency is for knees to cave in. We don't want that to happen. So I'm squeezing in the glutes. I'm going to make sure my knee is going to track around my 3rd toe. How do I do that? I'm going to even out my hips. Notice if I step forward and my front hip is coming forward, my knee caves in. So when I come to this position, I'm going to even them out. My knee is tracking properly. Come down, crown of the head reaches tall, squeeze in the hips to come back to my standing position. You might do this without weights, that's fine. We do this for a minute, stepping forward, checking in with the hips, making sure they're ready, and then coming back. In your first round, it's all about exploring the space in front of you, exploring the activation of your body, keeping your chest up nice and tall, keeping the crown of your head up nice and tall, scooping the tailbone under. I want your lunge to be hip stability, squeezing in the glutes, less in the quad. Tendency is to lean forward, to heave yourself back. We don't want to do that. We're up nice and tall, right? Chest up tall, proud, ready to come down as low as you can, right? This is fine. And then squeezing to come back and meet each other. So those are your lunges. If we're doing this weighted, the feedback on your collarbone can be enough for you to keep your chest up high and proud. So here we are. Maybe you go into your 2nd round and you do it with the weight and you feel the strength in your legs, in your glutes, in your hips, squeezing together, reaching the chest high, crown of your head tall, and you do that for a minute and you take breaks in between. Make it available to you. My heart's racing and I'm out of breath already. 3rd movement, overhead squats. This is one of the most challenging of weightlifting movements in my experience, especially with a dumbbell, but I offer it to you because we can do hard things, and a commitment to health means we're willing to explore what's difficult and challenging, and we break that into the rest of our lives. Now, I know it's not often that you're going to be standing around with something over your head like this and coming into a squat. So when I say it's translating into your life, I'm talking about the way that it feels to do something hard with an open chest and open mind in the right positioning, that it just works for you. So let's make this overhead squat work for you. Feet about hip distance apart. We're going to take the weight onto our shoulder first, and then we're going to push it up over our heads. We leave the dumbbell over our heads, armpit facing forward. We're going to allow the shoulder to drop back so that our bicep is close to our ear, okay? No bending in the elbow. If you have to bend in the elbow, the weight is too heavy. I want you to lock out, push through the dumbbell, push it through up towards the ceiling, and allow the shoulder to come back. This is work here. I'm working in my upper abdominals in order to be able to hold this weight over my head. I'm working in the shoulder girdle. I'm working in my lats to stabilize the dumbbell so it doesn't move side to side. Right here is work. Now the beauty of the overhead squat is that because the dumbbell is coming back, there's already a natural curve in my lower lumbar spine. So coming into an appropriate squat position is actually easier when we have the dumbbell in the right position over our head. And we just take it down and count out a few of them for ourselves, maybe 3. And then we gently switch hands, bringing it to our shoulder, bringing it overhead, stopping here. 1, 2, pushing through the dumbbell. 3. Stop, switch hands, and go again. Just make it even on both sides. Don't bring any drama to it. You want to try to get through that minute as effectively, efficiently, and as slowly as you need to help it feel good. Option, if it's too much for you and you just want to focus on a back squat, you can do that. Take the dumbbell, rack it on the back of your shoulders like so. Move your pelvis back behind you, drop into your seat, and come up out of the squat. I'm allowing my shoulders to drop back and down, moving it back, down, coming up out of the squat. And from forward, it looks like this, back and down, coming up out of the squat. What you want to focus on here really is having your eye line up and reaching your butt back. Tendency, if you have something racked on your back, is to look down, right? I want you guys to look up to keep the lower lumbar curve maintained. So you could do that instead. Final minute, cardio choice. You guys know I love choices. Pick up a jump rope, do a pretend jump rope, get into your jumping jacks, give me some running or high knees, maybe some lateral hops, right? Make the cardio available to your body. So that was fun with crunches, our lunges, overhead squats, and some cardio for a minute. All together, you've got a 4-minute workout you can do throughout the day, or put it all together 5 times for an amazing 20-minute workout. Enjoy.